Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lauren and I make videos about books and fandomy things a couple of times a week. So if you're interested in that, then you can stick around. If you follow me on my other social medias, then you may have seen that I just got back from a trip to Disneyland Paris, which was super exciting. We went and it was all Halloween-y and festive, which was kind of, I'd never been in October before. I've been in the summer, I've been in spring, I've been at Christmas, but it was really cool to see the Halloween festivities in full swing with the new Halloween parade, and it was really cool. There will be a vlog coming of the trip. I think it's going to be one big vlog like my Walt Disney World vlog was. If you haven't seen that, I will link it down below. But this is the haul for that trip, which I always share with you guys because up until I go, I end up watching so many hauls to see what's in the parks, so I make them so that if you guys are going, you can also do that and see the stuff that you might want to buy. I'll start with the stuff that was like free. We got this massive like Halloween badge that says Festival of Halloween on it with Ursula because she's the face of the new show, and it also has Phantom Manor on it, as well as Phantom Manor has just recently reopened, which is super exciting. Got these from the hotel front desk when we checked in. We stayed in the Santa Fe this time, which is a hotel I've never stayed in. I have 2 more hotels and then I've stayed in every Disney hotel in Disneyland Paris, which is super exciting. We also got these magic passes. I'm sure that if you have been to Disney recently or you watched these videos, you will see that the new tickets are on this. If you're staying in like a hotel, it's kind of the equivalent of a magic band in Walt Disney World, but it's a magic pass instead. And this is your room key and also your park entry ticket. Obviously, if you do just go for one day, then you will get just the paper ticket, but these are the passes that you now have. And it's really cool because it says your name on it and then also where you stayed and how long you stayed there for, which I thought was really cool. Mine also has this on it because this was part of the disability access pass that I had, which I will explain a little bit more in a minute. And I think I'm going to make a whole video about attending Disney with a disability / chronic illness, so if you'd like to see that, then let me know. For this trip, I actually got the orange card. There is a green one as well, but I am still waiting for like disability card / blue badge. I've applied for them, but we're waiting to see about them. And so I got this one sort of in the meantime, and basically with this one, you go to the ride or person that you want to meet, they write it on there and then they give you a time to go back on. Sometimes if it was like a 5-minute wait queue, they would just get you to walk straight on, which was absolutely fine. This one does not work for the shows, which was a bit of a shame because that still meant I had to stand for those ones. And also with these ones, if you get a time on there, you cannot get another one on there until that one's done. So on the day where we met Rapunzel, the next like time for this card for Rapunzel was 5:10, and we went to the place to get that time at 10 o'clock in the morning, so we couldn't use this for Rapunzel because we wanted to use it for other rides. So we did end up queuing for Rapunzel for like 2 hours. The reason why we like said it would be okay to queue for Rapunzel was because it was inside and I knew that we could sit down like as we were moving along the ride in Princess Pavilion, not ride, like the room in Princess Pavilion. So that was absolutely fine, but everything else was really cool because it gave us a time and I could sit down and wait until that time came. And I don't think we waited more than 25 minutes, half an hour to go back to something. Pretty much like everything was really like quick, and like I said, we could go to the toilet or we could just sit nearby, go and get a drink. So it really helped me. For those that don't know, I have fibromyalgia, which is chronic pain, and I also have it with chronic fatigue. I have really bad asthma as well, so these affect my things to stand for a long time. This is you and 3 other people, up to 3 other people, up to 4 other people, up to 4 helpers, which is really good. And they put this little thing on each of your magic bands, the magic passes. Also, one last not exciting piece of merchandise but boring thing is we did get a photo pass. These are so worth it in my opinion. It was €75, but there were 3 of us, so we split it, so it came just over €25 each. And this you can use for any attraction that has a photo pass like person on it if you meet a character, or also a ride with any pictures, and you get every single picture put onto this and you don't have to pay any extra, and it just goes to an app on your phone. Bearing in mind that if for one picture after one of those rides is like 15 to 16 euro if you just get one, let alone if you get like packs and bundles, this is so worth it if you want all of your pictures. Like it was really good and so helpful. I get those every time. I would never not have a trip and not get one of those. So if you are not new to my channel, if you've been watching for a while, you will see that every Disney trip I have accidentally started to be themed, so then now this kind of each trip has a theme, and I get a lanyard to represent that theme, and then also I collect pins to show that trip, so kind of who we met, what we did and what was going on. This time obviously we went for Halloween, so I very much got the Halloween lanyard, which has all of the villains on it, as you can see. So we have Captain Hook, Evil Queen, Maleficent, Queen of Hearts, Jafar, Corella, and I think Ursula. Is Ursula on there? Yeah, Ursula's on there too. So the lanyard was, I think, $9.99, and the pins are different colours, so I'll put them up here. Obviously we stayed in Hotel Santa Fe, so I got the badge to show that we stayed in Santa Fe. We met Rapunzel, like I said, and it was really cute because I had my little Pascal in the queue with me, because I always take it when I meet Rapunzel, and this little girl next to us in the queue, she was with her mum and dad, and they were Spanish, and I speak very broken Spanish, and the mum was laughing at me with me trying to communicate. But we were talking and she was playing with my Pascal and we were playing with them together, and her mum was really nice, and her mum was like asking me questions, and it was really sweet, and she like offered me popcorn, and I made Pascal pretend to eat popcorn. So because I have a lot of Rapunzel pins, I ended up choosing a Pascal pin to represent meeting Rapunzel, because I felt like it represented the whole thing, which was super cute. Then we met the villains, so we met Jafar. All of the villain pins were $6.99. I also got this one of the Pride pins, which is the castle, which I think is really cute. Last year when I went, I got the Mickey head. Was it a Mickey head that was also for the Pride ones, but this time I got the castle. And we met Maleficent, so I got the Maleficent pin. And then I also got these two really cute like button badges that were £4 altogether. They came in a set of two. So there's a little vampire Mickey and one that says Happy Halloween, because obviously we went there for Halloween. We also met Mickey in Meet Mickey Mouse in Fantasyland, and I got a little Mickey, like magician Mickey from Fantasia, which I think is really nice. That was my pins from this trip, and I bought this little Disneyland Paris like wallet to clip on to the end to hold my magic pass, my disability card, and also my photo pass. So that was really cool, and that little card was $5.99. Pascal pin was a green pin, the Mickey one was yellow, and the Santa Fe one was green. So now for the other things that I actually bought on this trip. I got some ears, as I usually do. These were the pumpkin Halloween ones, which I knew I wanted to get from when I'd seen hauls with them. I think they're actually adorable. They look like little pumpkins, and they have a little star, and it's like the little pumpkin stalk. I'm going to keep them on for the remainder of this video. These were €20, which actually is like the cheapest I've ever paid for a pair of ears. Usually they're like 25-ish, but these are really nice. I did see the Arendelle Aqua ones, which that whole collection threw me for a loop, because I didn't think I was going to like it when I saw pictures, and then I saw it in person and it was so hard. I wanted the Spirit Jersey and I wanted the ears, but ultimately I didn't, because to be honest it's not a colour I'd wear often, so I think I would have bought the Spirit Jersey and then not really worn it. But it was a really nice collection. Then I got, this was a definitely like at the till purchase. So this is a little like Clip Me Anywhere Baymax, and he's adorable. And I think I'm going to clip him on like the end of my bed with all my other Baymai that sit on my bed. She's just adorable. Like Baymax is my fave. For those that don't know, Big Hero 6 is my favourite like non-princess film. Like it's Big Hero 6 and Tangled, which I love very much, and then I also love like Basil the Great Mouse Detective and Little Mermaid is like the classics. Baymax, love him, met him in Walt Disney World, love of my life. So I thought this would be really cute because I didn't have a tiny Baymax to sit with on my other one. This was €5.99 and it was definitely an at the till purchase. Then Tower of Terror is my favourite ride in any park. Like I'm obsessed with it. It's amazing in Florida. They've changed it in Paris now, so there's like 3 different versions, like 3 different stories with different drops and stuff, which I absolutely loved. We did all of them and I love it so much. And there was a Tower of Terror t-shirt which I did like, but it had a lot going on, so I didn't end up getting it because I didn't think I'd wear it that much. And they also had these Hollywood Tower Hotel bellhop hats, which I really wanted, but I tried it on. It didn't really fit on my head properly. I couldn't have like worn it around the parks instead of ears because it just didn't fit, and it would have just ended up like on my shelf. I buy ears which end up on my wall where all my ears are, but I can take those back and wear them again, whereas this did not fit on my head at all. So when I went in 2015 for Christmas, I got a Hollywood Tower Hotel room key. Mine is really bent now, it's like 4 years old almost, so I got a new one just to go on there. I really love key rings that look like keys because it makes it look like you've got loads of keys. Like I have a Gringotts one on there, and then I have this one. But I'm gonna change them over, keep the other one near my little Tower of Terror bell that I got from Walt Disney World, and put this new one on my keyring. This was $6.99, but it's a pretty like hefty keyring and the detail's really cool. Then we went on Pirates of the Caribbean loads. It became one of our favourite rides for this trip, and I wanted to get a pin badge to commemorate that because, like I said, I do that all the time, but the pin was like $12.99, which was a lot of money for a pin. So I ended up buying the medallion that they have, and I'm going to tie this around my lanyard because this was only $5.99. I think that this is really cool. The quality is amazing. I used to have one of these when I was a kid and I went through my Pirates of the Caribbean phase, which was a phase I did definitely have. I was obsessed with it. So I thought this was really, really cool as a commemorative thing for Pirates of the Caribbean. Went there one night, literally 15 minutes before the park closed, and we were the only ones on the ride. Like, we were just on this boat all by ourselves. It was actually terrifying. Like, I was a bit scared, but it was really, really, really cool, and it became one of our favourites. Then the last two things that I got on this trip were clothing items. So the first one was this t-shirt, which my friend Holly actually noticed and I thought was really cool. If the Tara ones were like this, a little bit more like simple, I definitely would have got it, but I loved this one, and this also became a favourite of ours on the trip. We rode this ride so many times, and that was Big Thunder Mountain. It's the wildest ride in the West, which I love, and Big Thunder Mountain, and it says Disneyland Paris underneath, but I really like it. And when Holly pointed it out, we were saying we really liked the kind of like vintage style of it and how it kind of looks, and I do love Big Thunder Mountain. I think it is my favourite ride in like the Disneyland park, because my favourite park is Walt Disney Studios and my favourite ride is Tower of Terror, but I do think that this is my favourite ride in there. And this was $19.99, which wasn't too bad for a t-shirt, to be honest, so I really, really liked this. And of course I got my very first Disneyland Paris Spirit jersey. I got a Spirit jersey when I went to Walt Disney World. If you haven't seen the haul from my Walt Disney World trip, I'll link it down below. But I got the black Disneyland Paris Spirit jersey, which just says Disneyland Paris on the back. So I really love the Spirit jerseys. I know that they're not for everyone and not everyone likes them, but I think they're really, really, really nice. And I knew I wanted to get one from Paris because Paris is like my park, you know, like it's the first one I ever went to. I try and make sure I get to visit it every year, and I absolutely love it. As soon as they announced they were releasing Disneyland Paris Spirit jerseys, I knew the next time I went I had to pick one up. I don't really like the rose gold one very much, and like I said, the Arendelle Aqua one really kind of threw me for a loop, so I was like, I love this, it's so sparkly. But I ended up getting the black one because I just think I will wear this more. I am planning a birthday trip in April, so who knows, I might buy the Arendelle Aqua one then. Really, really love this. These are a little bit pricey. This was €60, but I knew that going into it because that's how much they are, so I set the money aside specifically to pick up my Spirit jersey. This is a size medium, and they are like oversized. Like the one I've got from Walt Disney World is an extra small, and that's also really big, but this was the smallest size they had, so it's quite baggy, but that's how they're supposed to be designed. So yes, so that was my most recent Disneyland Paris haul. I hope you guys liked it. Are you guys visiting Disneyland Paris anytime soon? Are any of you going for Halloween? Have any of you been recently? I'd love to know down below. It was super fun. I loved the parade song, the Halloween parade song. It was so wonderful, and oh, I love it. And it was just so spooky, and I just loved every minute of it. Thank you guys for watching. If you are new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandom things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all the links to my other social medias is in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!